the record, let it be on record that Mayor Pro Tem Cohn could not make it tonight. He's away on business. We wish him safe journeys. First, our presentations for our new businesses. First is Sissy's Indian Trail Packet Post. Where are we? All right, we have Sissy.
Yes, sir.
All right, Sissy, can you step up to the mic, give us a 1-minute overview of your business, and we'd like to welcome you to town.
Thank you. I just purchased Indian Trail Packing Post right here on the Indian Trail Road. It's a packing center. I'm an authorized FedEx center. We do shipping, packing over to all your business needs. We're open from 9 to 6, Monday through Friday, and 9 to 1 on Saturdays. Thank you. And I do have pamphlets if you'd like to receive it.
Yes. Where on Indian Trail is?
I'm right across the street from Johnny Cakes. Everybody knows Johnny Cakes.
Yes. Sissy. This way.
That's right.
Welcome.
Thank you.
It's a token of your welcome to Indian Trail. We wish you many good years of success. We're happy to have you on behalf of the council.
Appreciate it.
Next up is Dr. Presley, Custer's Animal Hospital. The mic is yours, sir.
Thank you for the time. We recently moved into our new facility on 301 Chestnut. It's a 5,000 square foot building, full service veterinary hospital. We do a lot of rescue work. We're also going to have a vet farm camp this summer because every time I ask a child about chickens, they say Chick-fil-A. They're going to learn about, I have baby lambs, I have chickens, I have bunnies, I have pygmy goats, horse. So on the 6 acres adjoining property that I own, we're going to have it over there. We'll have kids from kindergarten to 5th grade in the morning and try to teach them that what it used to be when we were, you know, I mean, I grew up eating fresh eggs, grew up milking a cow. My girls still do that. You know, my girls do, but nobody else does. So I brought some brochures that talks about, you know, everything that we do. Yes.
It's going to be like a summer camp.
Yeah, it'll be every other week during the summer. And then it'll just be for 9 to 12 for snacks and everything.
Dr. Presley. For you to build it. Thank you very much. Congratulations. It's been a long time coming. Thank you for your years here and many more. Thank you very much. At this time, I'm going to yield the floor to the town manager, Patrick Sadek, for the school art program.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I might give to Susan here and there because Susan is responsible for the art program. I think she's been doing it every year. But this year we decided to elevate it a little bit because I was so impressed one day. I went into the room and it was full of art. And all this art is made by the students. And I love art. And if you want to see a piece of art that Patrick worked on, it's our memorial up front, so you can know where I'm coming from. So what we did is, after I sat for an hour into that room, looking all the art, it was beautiful. So I had an architect that worked with us, so we went into a VIP room. We spent 2 hours there making the decision which one will be the winner. So what we wanted to do is kind of say thank you to the artists, the students, and their teachers, and their families. And that's what we'll do today. So I'll go ahead and turn it to Susan. And you go ahead and call the students by name. So what we're going to do is we took your painting and we framed it. We're going to take a picture with you with the frame. We're not going to give you that frame back because we're going to take it and put it in our art center downstairs. So we want everybody to look at your artwork. We're only going to let you hold it for a few minutes, take a picture. Does that work? What do you think?
Gracie,
Okay.
understood what you said.
Go ahead.
Okay, So I'm going to call the students up. We'll go by school. And please, if there are educator, principals, if you are here, please stand with them and come on up with them. We'll present the children with their artwork. We want everyone in the room to, you guys will get a sneak preview of the exhibit that will be here. So everyone will get to see the artwork frame. And I'm just going to ask the children, so we'll with the children, just step on down. Dalton will take a picture, and then just step on down and just remain that way. And this way we can take one group picture of Indian Trail's future artists. Because they're in this room. We make sure that we get their autograph every year, just in case. All right, so we'll start with Antioch. And we have, our artist is Beckett Powell. Is Beckett here? There he is. Beckett is in the 3rd grade. And Christine Kazai, I saw Miss Kazai. Come on up.
So if I can ask one question, what we're seeing on the screen is the actual art.
Oh, yes, actually, that's Beckett's artwork right there.
Thank you.
Thank you. We want to make sure everybody can see it. This is the 5th year that we held this exhibit. We started with, I think, 5 schools and 70 pieces, and this year I'm proud to say we had 11 schools, and it was 170 pieces of artwork that we displayed.
Congratulations, guys.
Next, we'll have Henby Bridge. So Skylar Austin. Can we see Skylar? There we go. And Caitlin Murray. There's Caitlin. Okay. And Savannah. Savannah Gurley. Did Savannah make it tonight? No? Okay. Well, we'll hold on to Savannah's, obviously. Yes, sir.
Do you want the teachers and or parents to stay up there with the kids, or do you want them out of the picture?
Yeah, they can, yeah. They
Which
can
one?
stay with us. Yeah, the teachers. Yep. That'd be great. Okay.
You know where to call.
Yes, we got some help. Without you. Okay, that's Henby Bridge. Now we will do Indian Trail. So, Anu, Sabu, is she here? Beautiful. Miss Miller, she's not here. Come on up. Come on up. Come up. Here we go. Okay. Metrolina Christian Academy. Parker Gordon. Did I see Parker? There we go. Hey, Parker, come on up. And Mari with us. Fantastic. Congratulations. Okay, Poplar Elementary, we have Aubrey Davis. There you are. Don't be shy, Aubrey, come on out. Did I see Miss Helms? I don't think I saw Miss Helms.
No, we spent half an hour looking at this one.
Oh, Bobby. She said she could see the Porter Ridge, we have Sophia Rivera. Where's little Sophia? Come on, Sophia. Wait, Sophia, let's go, Sophia. Miss Nichols, okay. And do you want to wait? And then we have Grace Truong. Is Grace here? Come on up, Grace. Grace also did a 3D piece. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, here you go. All right, sweetie. Oh, I know it was a 3D piece, I'm sorry. You want to know? I'm going to tell you because I look at that all the time and think for sure it's a 5th grader, so that's why we were thrown off again. 2nd grade, keep doing that. And Daniela. Okay. Yeah, come on up. Oh, yes. Definitely a favorite. Hold that one up, Daniela. So that's also a ceramic piece. Okay. Now we have Sardis. Is Brooklyn in the house? I have to say that, I'm a New Yorker. Is there Brooklyn in the house? No? All right, there's Long Island in the house. Okay. Is Haley here? Is Miss Griffith here? No, okay. Well, we'll hold on to hers for her. From Shiloh, Johanna Huerta. Ms. Baldwin. Oops. We got it. We're still very overwhelmed by the artwork. And Sun Valley, we have Charity Hinton. Oh, Charity's here. Charity brought me that. Come on up, Charity. Is Riley here? Our teacher's not here, so I'll have Dad come up with you. Okay. And Dad will come up with you. Okay, and Union Preparatory Academy of Indian Trail, April Helms. And I saw that. That's April Grace Helms, right? There we go. And Alicia, look at, there she is. All right. We'll get a group shot. Okay, so you want to go up there with them and take a group photo and... So again, we give you its future artists. I too, but I'm on. Dalton, you're going to have to pan. Congratulations, everybody.
Perfect. Yes, I'm sure for children. We really do want that. Hold on. Hey, put it on the wall.
Thursday. I mean, yes, she should have gym on Thursday.
Before all of you leave, artists, parents, and teachers, if we I have your attention for a moment? On behalf of the council, we'd like to say thank you for participating in the art program. It's certainly a pleasure and an honor to see these young artists year after year, and for the innovative thinking of our town manager to have some of these artworks portrayed year-round in Town Hall. And it certainly warms the heart to see that the arts is still flourishing and growing. And each piece was very unique and absolutely wonderful. Thank you again.
Roger, son, we're going to get out of here. I love you. Bye, Paul.
Good job. Make sure you get the friend out, okay?
Oh, her mama takes care of that.
Oh, I bet.
Okay, go.
A proclamation for National Public Works Week. That will be read in the record. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance for the sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of the town of Indian Trail. Whereas the infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedication, efforts of public works professionals who are engaged, who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our town's streets, sidewalks, buildings, parks, streetlights, stormwater, and solid waste collections. Whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in the town of Indian Trail to gain knowledge of and to maintain a progressive interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. Whereas the efficiency of the qualified and dedicated personnel within the Public Works Department is materially influenced by the citizens' attitudes and understanding of the importance of the work being performed. Whereas the year 2019 marks the 59th annual National Public Works Week sponsored by the American Public Works Association, Canadian Public Works Association, Be It Now, whereas this year marks the town's third year commemorating the National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association, with the theme that it starts here, speaking to the essential nature of public works services in support of everyday quality of life. And now therefore, I, Michael L. Alvarez, Mayor of the town of Indian Trail, North Carolina, do hereby proclaim May 19, 2019 through May 25, 2019 as National Public Works Week in the town of Indian Trail, and call upon all citizens and civic organizations to acquaint themselves with the issues involved in providing our public works and to recognize the contributions which public works officials make every day to our health, safety, comfort, and quality of life. Given under my hand and sealed of the town of Indian Trail, North Carolina, on this 14th day of May, 2019. Okay. At this time, I'll open up the comments. And remind everybody, thank you for your interest in participating in the public comment portion of today's regular meeting of the town Indian Trail Town Council. Please be aware that these meetings are recorded and can be heard by anyone through the internet. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker and may not give your 3 minutes to another speaker to increase that person's allotted time. Comments will be directed to the entire council as a whole and not individuals. Citizens will be expected to be civil in their language and presentation and act within reasonable standards of courtesy. We ask the audience as well as speakers to maintain order and decorum in your conduct throughout the public comment period. That being said, you may not engage in slander, name-calling, personal attacks, or threatening or otherwise aggressive speech or behavior that I or the council reasonably believe will imminently result in a disruption of the meeting. Finally, we ask you a simple favor. If you have a grievance, concern, or complaint relating to a specific town employee, respectfully request that prior to airing the grievance here during public comment, you first contact the town manager, the town attorney, or one of us in council with your concern. We respect your right to be heard, and we respect the town employee's rights to a fair hearing of your grievance. When you step to the podium, state your name, your 3 minutes will begin. First, Ms. Linda Avery.
Good evening, Mayor Alvarez and town council members. I'm Linda Avery. I live at 324 Braxton Drive in the Brandon Oaks development. And with me this evening are a number of residents from Braxton Drive and Ellsbury Lane. And we would like to know the town's plans for completing the work on the median at the entrance to our street.
May I interrupt for 1 moment? And that'll stop the timer to begin. Are all 3 of you here speaking on the same subject?
Yes.
If you all step up, as per the meeting, it's the same subject. If you all stand together with one person being your speaker.
You can continue. Sorry, you have to take a call. You can continue.
Okay, is the town planning to pave over the area where a portion of the median is already removed? Or is there a plan to return the median to its original longer length? Another resident, Beverly McKay, and myself, and this is Beverly behind me here, have gone door to door getting input from residents of the 2 affected streets. And the residents in our area overwhelmingly favor leaving the median at the shorter length and asphalting over the bare area. The shorter median is preferred to allow access to driveways of the homes that are nearest to the entrance and will improve the flow of traffic and safety so the street will not be blocked if there are delivery trucks, garbage trucks, or emergency vehicles stopped in front of these homes. A resident living in the first house on this street experienced a serious consequence of the longer median when it was in place and her driveway was blocked. She could call the ambulance for a medical emergency of a family member. The fire trucks arrived first, and then the ambulance could not get around them to quickly transport the family member to the emergency room. Also, large vehicles like school buses have had a hard time navigating the small passageway by the longer median. And we do have 4 or 5 school buses that travel our streets twice daily. I would like to direct your attention to a letter that I have here supporting the shorter median, which was sent to the town council previously in April. This letter states that residents are glad that half the median is now gone and would like for the project to be completed with repaving and replacing the curbing. It is also noted that this letter was signed by 50 residents, and there are a total of 38 homes on our 2 streets. And could the residents of Braxton Drive and Ellsbury Lane who are here this evening in support of repaving the area where the median was removed, please stand. These are the people most affected by the street design since they navigate this street every time they go and come from their homes. Of course, this is just a few of our residents here.
The 3 minutes is up. Can you read the letter?
Yes, did you say you emailed it to town council?
I actually brought it here in person and left it at the desk back in April, but I do have a copy of it. And I just highlighted the area, the letter was about several things, but I highlighted the area in the letter that the community members are glad now that the median is gone, and they would like to request the repaving and the recurbing of that area. And
Are you okay with leaving the letter with council?
absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. And for the record, if the two of you would just state your names at the microphone that you were with her.
Good evening, my name is Beth McKay, and I appreciate your time listening to our the concern.
Thank you very much. This is Greg Amos, also the practicing driver.
Thank you. That brings us to Jim White. Good evening, Mr. White.
My name is Jim White, 1815 Green Tree Lane. Mr. Mayor, Town Council, Mr. Town Manager. I stand before you tonight in opposition of House Bill 971, modernization and privatization. 10 years ago, Indian Trail had a referendum on the ballot to open an ABC store and to live by the green. After strenuous debate, the referendum did narrowly pass. The citizens of Indian Trail did not vote for up to 1,500 retail outlets to sell alcohol in Indian Trail. Nor did they vote to have alcohol sales from 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. The bill also calls for, by January 1, 2020, requires your local ABC boards to liquidate all assets by public sale to the highest bidder. The 168 local ABC boards operate 433 stores statewide and employs over 2,870 people. 16 of those employees work for our local ABC store, which means they might lose their job and livelihood. Since the opening of the ABC store in 2010, the store has distributed $1,044,346 to the town of Indian Trail to spend as they deem necessary. This also helps the citizens, keeping the tax rate low that we currently enjoy. If this bill passes, the town of Indian Trail will lose this revenue stream. I hope you will join me in opposing House Bill 971. I was also expecting a resolution to be on the agenda tonight for Town Council to consider in support of the ABC system. I don't see it on the agenda. I'll assume we'll get there sooner or later. But I do support that resolution.
Thank you, Mr. White.
Remember,
Mr. White,
there is no...
3 minutes is up.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Council comments on the rebuttal? Any other questions? Patrick, I do recall seeing an email to add that to the agenda. Was it? No? No?
That one was tabled.
That one was tabled? Okay. Also, and I just have a comment on the first speakers. I don't live there. I've not been down the street. It appears that there's a lot of people that don't like that median, and Chase would probably be the best one to get answers to town. If we could find out from public safety officials if the median does impede their ability to get to homes, because then that would be a real concern.
I have a few comments, if I may.
Yes.
The first comment is we've been told that HOA was not in support of cutting the median down. They wanted the median to be installed as it was. The second item, we work very closely with Union County Sheriff's Office and the fire department to investigate the site. And according to both of them, we did not receive any comment in regard that the island is restricting ambulances to schools or buses or anything like that. So I just want to share that with council. But again, we did receive a comment from one of the HOA members that HOA is not in support of removing part of the island. They would like to see it back as it was. And we should be receiving a letter from them soon. This is what I've been told. We have not received that letter yet.
Okay, you will keep us updated on that.
I would.
If you can see him after.
Okay, great, thanks.
Yes, I'm very sympathetic to your whole situation over there. But it does sound like it really is that you need to work through the HOA first. There's a lot of things in life that frustrate me, and Super Street is one of them, and I'd like to take some matters in my own hands and go out there and do it. But it will have consequences, and so I just caution everyone to just be reasonable in your decisions when you approach these problems. You do have a council that is willing to work. The problem, again, we don't want to open up or set a precedence where there's a problem for every HOA and then the town taxpayers have to take care of that. But I'm sure the town will be willing to work with you guys, and again, I'm very sympathetic to this situation that I think is spiraled downward quickly. So, Patrick, yes, about the HOA letter, do we have that actual in hand, or is that no order?
It's forthcoming. I have not received it yet.
I'm going to bring any more comments.
Anyone else? Okay, I look forward to seeing that letter as well. At this time, I will close the public comments. Move us on to Captain Koval. If I'm not mistaken, Captain Koval, this is Law Enforcement Week.
Thanks, sir.
And
Do the Public Works Week. It's coming up.
I know. That would be my error, though. We didn't get a proclamation in time for Law Enforcement Week. But at this time, all the captains up there, it's better than a proclamation. Let's all give our law enforcement officials a round of applause.
Come over here and take credit for these guys, but I'll be honest with you, I can't speak for them in this. We work in the best place ever. We like working for Indian Trail, we like working for our residents. Here in Union County, we've got the best job ever, because it's no good when you come to work and don't want to work for the people that you're working for. We enjoy working for the people that we work for, so we've got the best job ever. Proclamation or not, we're happy to come to work every day.
I think I can speak for council and say there are no words to show appreciation for what law enforcement, including yourselves, do every day. And Chase, you downplay what you do, but we know that tragedy strikes, you're going to be right there in the middle of it. You can't deny that. Putting your lives on the line, and in a day and age where law enforcement is very underappreciated, we'd like to set the precedent where we over-appreciate you, and I don't think we can ever do that enough. Thank you very much.
Just don't bring donuts, so we're involved in it.
I need them on the
All right, so I've laid out a couple of things up there for you guys to look over, and I'm just going to get the highlights on it for everybody. But back on March the 9th, on Saturday morning, early in the morning, we had a armed robbery that occurred at the Aldi's grocery store. You probably remember us talking about that. So in working on that, we discovered and figured out pretty quickly that there had been other jurisdictions that had Aldi grocery store robberies that were very similar in nature. And so our investigators came out that day, started canvassing the area, and Tyler Cale, one of our detectives, actually did a little bit of extra legwork and started going around the surrounding businesses, even just outside the immediate area. And Tyler was able to find our suspect vehicle at another location here in Indian Trail that provided a whole lot better view of the vehicle than what we had from the initial cameras. And so we joined forces with Fayetteville, Lexington, Kernersville, Rocky Mountain Police Departments in investigating a series of these robberies that occurred. And during that, we figured out that we had an ex-employee, a guy that owned a company that had been doing some cleaning under contract for Aldi's, and that had ended. And he lives just outside of Raleigh in Wendell, North Carolina. And so we were able to get some phone records and put him in our area on the day of the offense and also put him in the area of the other robberies. So we got some Wake County involved in it, and long and short, through the cooperation of a bunch of different agencies, did a search warrant last week on his property up in Wendell, North Carolina, and recovered some items from some of these robberies, and also recovered the items that he was wearing, and also confirmed that his license plate on the front of the vehicle that we had seen, the vanity plate that we had seen on our footage down here from another local Indian trail business, was the exact license plate that was on the front of that car that had stayed hidden in his garage. So good work for all these officers, a lot of hard work and a lot of leg work, but they had done a lot of surveillance on this guy. And so anyway, he got picked up and arrested and is currently in Wake County Jail up there waiting on his charges to come forth with, but he'll be coming down here to Union County, and just think it was a good work on all of those guys' parts, because I wanted to run back over here week after week and say, we're that close, we're that close, we're that close, but they were very patient and they put together a really good case. So we did, just to catch you guys up, we did, past several weeks, a lot of our guys have been going down to our training facility outside of Wingate doing some active threat training and also some manhunt training. Some of our instructors incorporated manhunt techniques and stuff after our Verizon store robbery that we had up here last fall, where we wound up over in a very rural area with a whole bunch of people and a whole bunch of acreage and a whole lot of swampland trying to get through to get those two guys. And so we took back some lessons learned from that after we debriefed from it, identified some things that we wanted to work on. So we, over the past few weeks, we've been working on that, and on Friday I attended myself one of the last days that we had available, and got to get out in the woods and the chiggers and in the creek out there and walk around. And the good thing about that is we subjected all our guys to semi-mission rounds. So if you don't know what that is, it's a handgun that functions and a round that cycles through just like a real bullet would, except it shoots out a little hard-tip chalk piece that really stings and hurts and leaves a mark on you if you get pelted with it. So we had some good guys out there, or I say good guys, we had good guys acting like bad guys out in the woods and out in the weeds out there hiding. We'd have to go through and use some good safety techniques to hopefully keep our people safe whenever we're out there in the woods in the future having to do with it. But just thought that was interesting that one of our cases from here in town actually led to us developing a training exercise off of it. We conducted some town staff training last week as well. Put a note in there about it. We covered, I pretty much think, every town employee. Patrick made it through to that. Tony Underwood from our office and John Aldridge, our attorney, came up. Karen was here, and so we touched base on some trainings going around that some of our local government employees are starting to see already and seeing across the country. And so it's just kind of a heads-up type trainer. Once we started experiencing some stuff like that around here, we realized real quickly that town staff, they're really not as a program or a training exercise for them on that. So we just kind of augmented what we get from a law enforcement perspective and gave it to town staff. And you guys will probably get that during the closed session. I'll condense it down to 8 or 10 minutes in the future. The last page there has just got a picture of some heroin that was recovered from the rooftop of one of our local businesses last week, or actually it was Wednesday before last, but the narcotics guys were up here doing the operation. They brought in guys from all over the county and even a couple from outside the county. Did some interdiction work here in Indian Trail, just kind of made a sweep across Union County, hitting some of our areas that are known for trafficking and known for arrest in the past. We've talked about before, a lot of our big box stores and a lot of our big parking lots are where people want to meet up to do narcotics transactions at. So they were doing some surveillance, saw a gentleman that fit the MO for what he was doing, just kind of loitered around hanging in the parking lot and wasn't really doing any business at any of our shops. So they went up to make a voluntary contact and approach with him. At that time, they decided to take off running and chuck a package on top of the business. It didn't pan out too well for him, but if you look at the pictures there, it's got all of those colorful things are not bubblegum candy. They look like once you get out of the quarter machine, those are actually packets of heroin. And then some cash and some other paraphernalia stuff that was in there with it. But thought that was really good and got some good help from Stallings Fire Department that ended up arresting Deshaun Anderson, 23 years old, of Charlotte. And he faces numerous charges for the narcotics that happened in that day. So good proactive work those guys were doing out here from the narcotics. Those guys are undercover and in plain clothes out here working a lot. Patrick's seen them around several times. And sometimes Patrick's with me, we just happen to stumble up on them sometimes. Who's that? Well, those guys work up here too, so they're out here flipping rocks and keeping an eye out in places that we shop and where our families shop at. So just wanted to make you guys aware they were out here and some things they were getting into. Thank you.
You could go ahead.
Quick update, if I miss anything, y'all.
Go ahead.
It's the 27th or 28th? That was
27.
27th. Council, by now, this is just a quick update on the regular memorial ribbon cutting. As you've seen by now, you've seen an agenda go out and some changes to it. And there may be a couple little tweaks as far as times because we're trying to work on a flyover right after tax, and then we may have to adjust the time of different people for a couple minutes here and there based off the pilots. We're at their mercy right now, and we should find out in the next couple of days whether or not we'll be able to get the flyover. Patrick's worked real hard on everything. We've worked with the schools. We're going to have some representation from our public schools. We'll have different branches of the military. We're going to have a wreath laying in remembrance of Memorial Day for its true meaning. And we are pretty much, we found a actual local World War II veteran that was a POW in a German prisoner of war camp that we have asked if he would come and lay the wreath. We thought that would be more than appropriate considering as we're working on an update list for dignitaries from around the state that are Union County representatives. Patrick's rightfully so adamant about getting as much educators here because this is definitely an education tool for remembering our veterans and a place for veterans to come to reflect. The VFW has agreed to move not do their festivities they normally do on Memorial Day, to be here, to be a big part of it. Other than that, Patrick, I think we've moved it to 6:45 for the council to arrive in Town Hall, and with the actual Memorial Garden ribbon cutting and festivities that begin at...
For right now, at 8:45, we keep looking at the...
No, 7:45 for everything, 8:45 for...
Actually, 8:45 is when we...
Play the video.
Do we have the... I thought it was 8:45.
There we go.
6:45 is the banquet, 7:45 is the welcome and introduction.
The memorial lighting is
And the memorial lighting.
8:55.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, is there anything else, Patrick?
You know, I'd just like to say the only outstanding items is the flags themselves. So irrigation, landscaping, mulching, all that is completed. As you mentioned, the agenda is completed. We're only waiting on the school. And we are going to work closely with Captain Chase. And actually, Captain Chase has a plan probably in place right now.
I forgot we're having a cookout that night. Sergeant James Gobbins is working on it from our end, and so he's been back and forth with Patrick. We're good to go. We're excited about it.
And all the assignments been given to staff, so we're ready to go.
The plaques will be before.
Yes, that is correct. All of them will be installed before.
Patrick, I did have a chance to speak with the American Legion last night.
Yes, sir.
And they and they're happy to attend. So if we can get some more information to them, and they also have some names for plaques as well for you.
Is it possible, Mr. Morse, to share the contact number so we could send them everybody invitations?
Go ahead.
Adam?
The only thing I would say about the plaques is if the name is wanted on the plaque, we have to know by tomorrow afternoon if it wants to be there before the ceremony. So if we don't know by tomorrow afternoon, I can't guarantee that the guy that's doing the sandblasting will be able to get it put on.
But all the submitted ones are covered.
Everybody so far is covered up until tomorrow afternoon, and then we've got we don't know after that.
And just real quick, thank you to council, Patrick, staff, all our generous donors that have helped bring us to the point we're at. I think the memorial's long overdue and definitely will be a very big value add to this town and be able to allow us to honor our veterans in the very best way we know how. Thank you. That brings us to new business. Oakstone speed limit ordinance. Mr. Hunsiger.
Mayor and council, real quick, this won't take very long. Basically, the DOT reached out to us. They had a request came in from a homeowner at the Oakstone subdivision. I wanted y'all to get a visual of what the subdivision looks like. Y'all didn't really have that in your packet. But all the roads are DOT roads, and basically property owner came to request to see if all these roads right now are 35 miles an hour, and she wanted 25 miles an hour. DOT does have a program to reduce speeds of roads, so again, she reached out to DOT, but being that it's in town limits, they have to go through Raleigh and basically come up with a municipality declaration agreement with us. And so you have staff has looked at the roads, we don't have a problem dropping it to 25, but as a council, you have to approve, so being that you have to go in agreement with that. So we just need you to either approve or deny the request.
The request is only for the area in red, which means that the one that is not in red is still going to be 35. Is that what?
No, that is a town subdivision, so those are 25 already.
Okay. We'll need a motion if there's no questions. Anyone?
Actually, sorry, I misspoke. That we don't own those streets down there, but that's another subdivision in itself. So
it's everything in the red.
That's Laura Creek. Those stones in red. So again, I don't even know what the speed limit is in Laura Creek. As far as DOT's roads are concerned.
Patrick.
Mr. Mayor, Council, usually when you have long runs like that, as you see, a lot of times people speed up, and I think it'd be applicable, the right place to go ahead and reduce the speed limit for that subdivision.
It sounds fine to reduce the speed, but is a sign going to do that, or is a traffic calming measure a better approach?
No, we do have to base, they have to post signs anytime it's not 35 miles per hour or otherwise posted. So if they follow that rule, then they have to put the 25 mile per hour sign. But both of them will reduce the speed, will assist in reducing the speed. So to answer your question, it's a state street, then they will have to post the signage for that at 25 miles per hour.
Will the state come back and put, like road bumps or anything like that? It's still a problem.
The state has a traffic calming policy just like we do, but unfortunately it's pretty strict. A subdivision like this, it's not going to pass their policy. It's very hard to get approved for those types of devices.
They rely on a large number of residents to get on a petition so they could approve it. So that's exactly what.
Any motion, council?
I'll make a motion to approve the Oakstone speed limit ordinance, or ordinance 311.
Mr. Heads made a motion to approve. All in favor? Unanimous. Motion approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
That brings us to the manager's update. Patrick, do you have anything else to add?
No, I'd just like to say that we're working diligently on the budget to give the base for Saturday. And right after that, we will go ahead and generate the manager's report for the last 5 weeks.
Okay.
And I'd like to see if the council has any questions. Right now, I'll be more than happy to respond.
So our first look is gonna be Saturday on the budget?
Yes, sir. And we will send something in regard to the timing for council, but we're looking at 9 o'clock to 1.
Will we get a packet beforehand?
Yes,
Before Saturday?
yes.
Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to council comments.
Ms. Howe?
You know, a lot of kids were in there, and I think it was great that we had the art contest. They were very talented for their age. It was unbelievable. So we're glad that everybody participated, and I guess you'll be seeing it in the art room then, when it's hung in the art room.
Yes, ma'am, at the center, at that meeting, conference room that we have at the bottom. We'll be there for you.
Thank the members for being here tonight, and drive safely, although I have a chauffeur driving me home tonight. It's not an Uber, but I better watch him. Thank you.
Mr. Morris?
Well, thank you to everyone that came this evening, especially those that have the courage to speak out on things that doesn't make you happy. You know, it's always a good thing. I'd like to thank Chase and his deputies for stepping up patrols recently. There's been a lot of, I think, educational type of activities done by the sheriff's office to remind people that those super streets, even though they got those crazy U-turns, you're not supposed to run them on red, which is, it causes problems for the rest of us. Thank you, everyone, again, for coming out and speaking tonight. Your concerns are genuine, and we genuinely are concerned for you. And we're open to anything that if you want to reach out to us individually, especially myself, I welcome that. And I'm looking forward to seeing everyone at the Memorial Day celebration. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Mr. McIntyre?
My head's really pounding right now, so I'll just be brief and say thank you very much for coming, and I appreciate everybody's time, and drive safe forward.
Mr. Head?
The school art was phenomenal, and thanks to Patrick and Susan for putting this on. I thought this was, to see what the kids have done was just tremendous. Adam, Public Works Week, thank you for all you do, and Mr. Wright. Chase, Law Enforcement Week, as always, we thank you. Council, we always work well with each other. We may not always agree, but I think we always try to come up with what we think is the right decision. Good crowd. Hopefully we'll have these crowds continue to happen. Everybody drive home safe. Thank you.
Mayor Alvarez?
Patrick, I want to give you a special thank you for even thinking of recognizing the students and the art. That was very nice of you, and we really enjoyed that. And also for you, your leadership, the staff, all your hard work to provide this council with the very best information, most accurate information for them to make the very best decision. So I tip my hat to you and your staff for all you have done. Council, you're a wonderful group of people, all of you. I'm out and about in the town with a lot of elected officials, a lot of people around, and in the time I've been here, this is the only time everybody's positive about a town council and the way they work together. And it shows. It shows in your community. It shows everywhere you go that you can respectfully disagree, and you've made this town proud again and made government functioning, probably in the only place around. So thank you for that. I received a letter that I just read. I'm going to pass it to council. It's in regards to the Super Street. Looks like DOT is, from what this is read, if you want to reach out to Caldwell Collision, they're making them take down signs, and other business take down signs now that weren't meant to be taken down, and people can't find their businesses now. So I, for one, if there's anything we could do to start to put some pressure on DOT to rein them in a little bit on where they're affecting our businesses along 74. We've lost a couple businesses already, and they're affecting long-time businesses here. And I understand their job is to keep traffic flowing, and collateral damage is not even on their mind. But that's all that's on our mind. And we need to keep them aware of what they're doing. I sympathize with people in the Brandon Oaks community. As a real estate professional, I'm torn. The median's been there for years. It was there when people bought the homes. They saw it when they bought the homes. But on the flip side, I know Chase does an outstanding job, and I know public safety does a fine job with everything to get wherever they need. And it is a real concern whether or not emergency vehicles can get through there continue to get through there. There's multiple, I know sheriffs can, but I too would be concerned about fire trucks and the ambulances. And if we could actually get some information on that, that would be great. And I realize that's an HOA issue, but it is concerning. And I like Jerry, I feel them. I feel them very much so. And wish there was something more we could do. Chase, thank you. I mean, you can have an entire road blocked. You find a way to get over it and get to where you need to be. Thank you again, Law Enforcement Week. And if you see them around, they're behind you in line, you see them in line, if you can, treat an officer to lunch. Yes, they need to eat too. It's okay.
So we've got a little bet going right now, so we're doing the big loser, so don't buy lunch.
Okay, they need donuts. And let me know who you buy the donuts for so I can bet on the one that doesn't get the donuts. Gentlemen's last concern. Most of these subdivisions that are in concern now were approved 20, 30 years ago or more. And the rules and regulations that have been put in place nowadays is extremely stringent. And this council really scrutinizes everything now that comes before them. They know your concerns, they've heard them, we've all heard them, we've inherited a mess in this town, in this county, from poor building designs everywhere. And they are working very hard to even go back in time to try and fix some of those. But money, time, everything takes a long time to go back and repair the errors of the past. And for that, I'm grateful for the hard work that they've done. On that note, everyone, have a blessed week. Continue to keep all of our students in schools and colleges in your prayers. It's a crazy world out there, and it doesn't seem like it's getting any better. That being said, God bless. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Mr. McIntyre's made a motion to adjourn. All in favor? All right. Good night, everyone. No.